2 men were trapped inside a scorching hot oven for over 10 minutes, while others outside could only watch the accident happen. On May 16, 1998, the accident occurred at a bakery in Leicester, United Kingdom. That day, a part of the oven had fallen off. It didn't affect the machine's function but posed a safety hazard, so the factory needed it reinstalled. The management had never handled such a case before, but they believed such a minor issue did not require hiring external experts because for every hour the oven stopped, the company would lose over $1,000. So 47-year-old technician David and 44-year-old engineer Ian were assigned to carry out the repair. The factory had 3 ovens, each 20 meters long. During baking, heating elements inside the ovens could raise the temperature to 260 degrees Celsius. It took 8 to 10 hours to cool down to a safe level. The original repair plan was simple: shut down the oven and let it cool overnight, then use the conveyor belt the next day to carry the workers forward to remove and reinstall the broken part. But management wanted to save time and increase output. They decided to shut down the oven only 2 hours before David and Ian began work. To speed up the cooling process, fans were placed at both ends of the oven, and before entering the oven, the 2 men didn't check if the internal temperature was safe because they trusted the experienced technician completely. They also had full trust in the factory. After 2 hours of waiting, they were told it was safe to enter. Without hesitation, they entered with only radios and work uniforms. They had no special heat protection gear and no safety alarms. 5 minutes later, as the conveyor belt moved, the further in they went, the hotter it became. They felt the temperature rising rapidly. David and Ian's body moisture began evaporating quickly. Their clothes were soaked with sweat. They struggled in the suffocating heat. The air around them seemed to burn their organs. Their condition kept worsening. The conveyor belt kept moving slowly. Desperate and terrified, Ian shouted into the radio, "It's too hot. We need to get out." At that moment, the oven's interior temperature exceeded 100 degrees Celsius, hot enough to boil water. The conveyor moved in one direction, with no reverse mechanism. To escape, they would have to crawl backward out of the oven, which was nearly impossible in such heat. Eventually, they were slowly dragged deeper into the oven, hoping someone outside would pull them out. Outside the oven, untrained workers panicked. In the meantime, the heat inside the oven melted their clothes and skin. They had already lost consciousness. Only then did someone think to cut the power. But due to oven design issues, the conveyor belt still moved forward several meters even after power was cut, finally stopping. But the oven's exit was sized for bread. When the conveyor brought Ian to the oven's exit, he couldn't fit through. Workers watched helplessly as he got stuck and had to use a crowbar to pry open the exit and pull him out. His body was deformed from being crushed at the exit. He was covered in blood and severely injured with major bruising, burns, and extensive skin loss. David was stuck in the middle of the oven. Only then did the factory begin dismantling the oven. He suffered burns over 80% of his body and multiple fractures. The incident involving David and Ian shocked the entire industrial sector.